Hello and welcome! We've punched our ticket to the beach barbecue. We're going to be trying Belizean Barbacoa. It's delicious. 3 bottles worth of it. We're so glad to have you. Thanks for joining us. This is Sauce Spoken.
And we're back. We are Sauce Spoken. We're the podcast detailing your favorite sauces, dips, and condiments. My name's Adam, and I'll be your host. And I'm joined here this week by my co-host, Tori.
Hi there. Yes, hello. Another week has passed. Another Sauce Spoken is right here in your speaker in your home or your car. My name's Tori. It's so good to have you. Thanks for joining us. And to my right, of course, he's the king of bad sports analogies, our co-host and friend, E.
Grunt-E.
Grunty, hey now. I like the bad sports analogies better. That definitely speaks home to me.
He really hit a touchdown on that one.
Nailed the goal swing.
Goal post or something. Oh, yeah.
Go sports. We love sports on this podcast.
Right, I was just with some friends talking about, there's we were talking about handball and there's a sport that was like, it's considered the fastest, the sport with the fastest ball.
Lacrosse.
And it's not lacrosse, but it's very similar. It's called like Alahi or something like that.
Yeah.
With those big curves.
Yeah, the curves.
The curve.
It's like people die a lot doing that.
What is that called? You're right. It's something like that.
It's Brazilian.
Yeah, it is something like...
I think it is Brazilian,
yeah. It is something Malay.
You're closer there. Ali or something like that?
Something like that. Ali.
Yeah,
maybe that's right. Anyways, they also
call it fucking Ali.
Yeah, there's a
Sports Masters
beer
named
again. After it. That's how the only reason why I know about this is because I was drinking a beer that was called that, and I was like, "Damn, this is really good beer." How the heck do you say that name? Because I was looking at the thing, and the guy I was drinking with told me about what the name was, what it was named after, the sport, and I was like,
yeah, they launched those balls into orbit with those things.
Yeah, and like you said, they can kill people. They have
right.
Killed people,
they kill people.
I think it's a pretty hard ball. I know nothing about this, but I think it's a pretty hard ball. And I think it's something about that curved, accelerates it.
Whipping the shit out of it.
Have you ever seen that video where they do the thing with like the 3 curbs? One's a flat line, and one goes like straight down and levels out, and then one goes at like the angle of those little racket things, and it's basically like trying to show you the acceleration of a ball based on different curves. Have you ever seen this little graphic thing?
No.
Oh, the gist of it is that the ball accelerates the fastest on the one in the middle, which is shaped just like those rackets that we launch the balls into orbit with.
Okay.
So that's actually like actually literally increases the speed of the ball.
And we actually had them. I remember playing with my siblings. We actually had some like little ones. They used like a wiffle ball, and it was a like plastic handheld curved.
And you try to hit each other in the head, right?
Highlight. We were terrible.
I think it's highlight, right?
Highlight.
Yeah,
that's what it's
there
called.
You go.
Highlight.
I knew it wasn't quite right.
Yeah, you're
We got it eventually.
Nailed it.
No research on that one. This wasn't edited. That was live.
No,
that was a live struggle.
I went back into the memory vaults, into the bank.
They told you what it was. Mm-hmm. I saw they held up a little flashcard for
in my headphones.
Right.
But kind of neat. So,
how was the beer?
The beer that I just had.
Oh, the highlight.
Oh,
beer.
the highlight. The highlight was fantastic.
Yeah. Wait, are you sure it's not High Ally?
High Ally?
I don't know.
I think it's High Ally. Fuck, we gotta look it up now.
But the beer was really good. I enjoyed the heck out of it. It might have been because it was just like a hot day. It was like a pale, just like a regular pale ale, but it had such good flavor. I really enjoyed it. It was really good.
There you go, man.
Okay, it's spelled Jaialai, so Jaialai.
But the J is like an H sound.
Highlight.
Yeah, instead of...
I don't know. I don't see a little pronunciation thing. Oh, wait, there's a... Wikipedia usually has one. Highlight. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Good enough. Yeah.
Highlight. All right, we solved it.
You're right. Okay,
Woo,
good. Moving on. Thank goodness.
So, yeah. It's been good. Been hard to believe already a week has gone by. I feel like we are recording this slightly ahead of
you feel like it's
schedule.
only been 6 days.
Right, yeah. And I actually feel it. I've had a busy weekend. I don't know about you guys, but I went to a family reunion. So,
as Tori mentioned, your bi-monthly family reunion.
My bi-monthly family reunion, yes.
So nice to be seeing you again this month, grandmother.
No, it was a really good time. We all got together and had ourselves a little picnic and
You were mistaken
each
for
other.
your dad, you told us.
I was mistaken for my dad by 2 different people, so that might make me
Yikes.
in need of, hitting the gym or trying to go out and more biking or something. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Well, you did. I do see that your desk is gone now. You ditched me last week because you said, "Oh, I have someone coming over." I offered to go on a bike ride with you, and you said, "Oh, I have someone coming over at that exact time to pick up this desk." And then I came here the next week, and the desk was still there.
Still there. Kept getting screwed around by 2 different people who were like, "Yeah, I'm really interested in this desk." I'm like, "Great, it's free. Like, come get it." Nope. We couldn't, we're completely unable to organize a time for them to come get this desk, which was ridiculous. But
you were speculating the one was going to rob your house.
Yep. Still a little worried about that.
And so did you finally sell the desk or get rid of it or what? Just throw it away.
Just throw it away. Garbage.
How can you do that? That's so wasteful.
It was so wasteful. It was disgusting.
So you threw it away anyway, after all that.
You threw something away? Let's just pause for a second on that.
Wow.
What about you, Tori? How was your week this week?
Yeah, it's a short one. I did a little painting over the weekend. It's always fun. Oh boy. Yeah, it was a pretty wet one, wasn't it, over the weekend? Yeah, I didn't do too much.
Okay.
I went to a birthday party on Sunday, and Sunday was a very nice day. So
Sunday.
Yeah, it was a dual birthday party.
Monster truck birthday.
A young lady was turning 17, and then another young lady was turning 70.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So it was fun.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Did they do the old, like, I wish I was older, I wish I was younger, switcheroo, bam! And they did the body switch?
Oh, with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, did they do that?
No,
I
don't
like
think
they
so.
both blew the candles out at the same time and then...
No, they're both very, very sweet young ladies, of course, on different positions, in the course of life. But yeah, we wish them the best and a happy birthday to them.
I'm going to say they switched bodies. They didn't tell you.
Yeah. Jamie Lee Curtis and Hannah Montana were both there.
Well, no, because
switched up.
when they do that, it takes effect after they go to sleep, so it's always the next day they wake up and they're switched bodies. So
Right.
they wouldn't have immediately switched bodies even if they had wished for it.
Yeah, need some Disney magic in between.
Right. Huh. Neat.
Yeah, so it was fun. Yeah, Sunday was a real nice day. Had some burgers, it was pretty cool. It was a surprise. One was a surprise birthday, the other one wasn't. So a nice little mix there.
Was the 70-year-old one the surprise one?
Yes.
Surprise, you made it to another birthday.
Yeah, right. Yeah, congratulations. Needless, she was pretty put out about it, and she's not the kind of gal that appreciates a lot of attention, the limelight type stuff. She just likes to do her thing, and yeah, she's pretty embarrassed. So mission accomplished, I suppose.
Perfect.
Yeah, and that's that for my week. It was a big one. I got out of the house.
Right?
Cool.
Yeah, I guess we all did then, essentially, unless Adam, did you?
No, I stayed in my house.
You stayed in your house all
Which
weekend?
was unfortunate.
That would be a very rare occurrence.
Well, no, I actually did for the most part because a little bit of an unfortunate accident. Speaking of old ladies and things that old people like to do, by circumstances outside of my control, a couple weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago, I stepped on a sewing needle that I told you guys about, and I think I was telling you about it on the podcast it was last Thursday, last week we recorded. So the deal was it was one of those needles where it was like a bigger sewing needle, but it had... Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I stepped on it, and it was, I took it out of my foot, and I was like, okay, whatever, and then a few days later, it was still hurting more than I was thinking it should after a couple days. So I was like, well, I don't really know what to do here. I tried kind of like exploring around with my knife a little bit to see if I could see anything in there.
Ow.
And I couldn't. But then I got the bright idea to get a magnet off my fridge. I had some rare earth magnets, and I took a magnet and it stuck right to my foot. And this was after the wound itself. The initial wound was already all healed up. So I was like, well, that's not good. So I was assuming that there was a piece of the needle still broken off in there. And I looked at the needle, and I hadn't saved it, but initially when I got it, it looked like maybe it had broken off a little bit end, but not the sharp end, the eye, the other end.
Damn.
Yeah, so I ended up going to the urgent care per the instructions of my primary care physician. And when I got to the urgent care, first of all, they told me, well, if it's too deep, we might have to refer you out to the emergency room because we don't normally handle stuff like that here if it's that deep. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll come out there. It'll be cheaper for me to go to urgent care and take a look at it. So I did that. And they did some x-rays there. And come to find out, it wasn't, yes, indeed, there was needle in my foot. However, it was not just one piece as I had hoped, because it was one of those big sewing needles with a split eye, and it had these two little things, where the eye part where you thread the thread through wasn't quite closed at the ends. So it had gotten injected into my foot and then broken off into two separate pieces. And because it was a bigger needle, they were much bigger pieces. And because I'd been walking on it all week. They got shoved real nice and deep up there.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was pleasant.
Nice.
Spent 3 hours for them digging around with a scalpel, and the worst part was they gave me a fuckload of lidocaine, which they had to inject into your foot. Of course, so you can imagine
painful.
how much fun that was. Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, they're cutting. The injection itself was terrible. And then, of course, they're cutting in there.
Whoa.
And the nurse practitioner, this is not something they normally do at urgent cares. She was like, "Oh, I'll give it a shot." She's like, "Your choices are either I give it a shot here. You're already here. I may as well. Or I can refer you out to an actual foot surgeon, and they can do actual foot surgery, put me out and shit, So I'm like, okay, well, let's just try it while I'm here.
So you don't want to be put out for this,
Yeah, it's
definitely.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get a $10,000 foot surgery here. So
right.
She starts cutting in there, and she's going at it for, I don't know, an hour and a half or so maybe, and she's not getting anything. At this point, I'm like, fuck, they're already cutting into my foot. They can't get any of this shit. I'm going to have to go through this whole bullshit and still go get fucking foot surgery. And the part of the issue was I was just bleeding so much that she couldn't even see anything. So they kept flushing it with all this lidocaine and epinephrine and shit to try to get my blood to clot. Finally, they had to go drag in this other nurse so she could hold my wound open so they could dig pieces out. And finally, they got both of these pieces out. And they were much deeper than she originally anticipated based on the x-rays and all that. Mm. And they were bigger pieces than we thought, too, because it was a big-ass needle, apparently. But they got them all. They got them both out. Thank God. Sam from the urgent care, she did an amazing job.
Keep them as souvenirs? Your little...
I initially asked them if I could keep them, but they're not... They're small enough that... I don't think you're really supposed to do that. They didn't really seem keen on giving them to me, but... I don't think they had anything to put them in either.
Well, they worried you going to put them back?
Yeah, they're worried I'm going to step on them. They're worried I'm going to drop them and step on them again.
Yeah, whoopsies.
Yeah, so that was, but that laid me up pretty good. Obviously, that night, I had to go after that and get, obviously I wasn't walking so hot, and I had to go get my antibiotics and stuff. They did give me a course of antibiotics. And then, I didn't do a whole lot of foot stuff for the rest of the weekend, as you can imagine.
And they made you do a tetanus shot, too? Since it's metal?
I'm current on my tetanus shot. It's only been 3 years, so I was good on that due to another incident a few years back. So, yeah, I was good on that. But, yeah, pretty not much fun. They actually had to go get more lidocaine to inject me with from another room because I'd used up all the lidocaine. I got 4 different types of lidocaine. Several were injections, which the worst part was they inject it, but then they have to fish it around in there to get it around. So they're re-stabbing it. Oh, it was terrible. She did an amazing job. I mean, she got it out. Saved me an assload of money, I'm sure. So I was very grateful for that, but very
and
unpleasant.
The extra time to try and schedule that while you're just
exactly.
Yeah, I got this extra.
And you figure they already started slicing in there, so it's the last thing you want to do is have to go slice it back open again,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. But we were talking a little bit earlier about, what was the country we were talking about?
Belize.
No, but we were talking about something else before.
Brazil, Highlight.
We were talking a little bit about Highlight earlier, and we were talking about some South American, Central American countries, and talking about Brazil and some blood. And now we've got some other things that start with a B, because this week we're going to be doing...
Oof, that's the reach of the century.
Yeah, it was a bit of a reach. We're going to be doing Maya Mike's Belizean Barbacoa sauce, and we have 3 of these different sauces to taste, actually. I have just the original here. Do you guys want to read the variants that we have?
Oh, there's Maya Mike. I was like, where the heck did you see Maya Mike? I had to look for it
earlier, yeah. It's very subtle. And you have what's the variant you have there, Eric?
I have the Wild Habanero All-Purpose Belizean Barbacoa with a heat level of medium.
And what do you have there, Tor?
I have, it appears to be the hot stuff. This is the Firewood Smoked Wild Habanero Belizean Barbacoa, heat level hot.
I know we'll get into the full description here shortly, but these are kind of like reddish sauces to finish off my analogy. Which another thing I meant to mention too. Are you guys familiar with the movie or the novel Misery by Stephen King?
Yes.
Have you ever seen this, Eric?
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. I haven't seen or read, but...
Okay, but you know...
Kathy Bates.
Yeah,
yes,
you
Kathy
know
Bates
the concept is this author is stranded in this bed, and this sadistic nurse, mutilates him terribly, his legs and feet and all this stuff. And in the book, in the movie, at one point, she smashes his ankle with sledgehammers. In the book, she actually chops his foot clean off with an axe.
Ooh.
And the reason I know this is because The week before I had to go in and have this foot surgery, when I was like bitten, held down in a bed, I had both read and watched the movie Misery. So that was like conjuring up some very unpleasant imagery from being in that bed having my foot worked on.
And that was your first time reading and watching?
I was familiar with the concept. I mean, it's, popular culture, but I don't think I'd ever seen the full movie. I may have seen parts of it, and I'd never read the book. But I recently read the book, and then my girlfriend is, well, she's not the strongest reader, so we watched the movie so she could get the general concept too. Yeah, so that was quite the mental imagery.
Oh.
But moving on to some more mental imagery, why don't we go ahead and describe the outsides of these bottles for the listeners? I don't know, these bottles are all pretty similar. Tori, do you want to kind of lead us off? Here's the original if you want to take a look at that one.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think it's fair to say that all these bottles the bottles themselves are identical. They all have the same black screw top. There's no fixture on the top of these, if you guys notice. There's no nipple. There's no nothing like that. Maybe that's a function of being a glass. It's hard to squeeze glass, but, you pour it out nonetheless. The label's nice. I think it's sort of cool. It looks like an artsy-fartsy tattoo, I think.
Yeah.
Very flowy, scripty, sort of viney.
I think like Art Nouveau or art something like that.
Yeah. So there's that. It's sort of hard to see because it's maybe a black against purple. And it's sort of tough to see if you're not looking for it. But what sticks out to you, at least to me, is what almost looks like a movie ticket. And so there, it says all-purpose sauce, but Belizean Barbacoa. This one I have in my hand here. The label's sort of manila folder-esque in the shape of a movie ticket. The other text is incredibly hard to read because it is that purple on black setup that is challenging for a Mr. Magoo like myself.
Is it purple?
If you catch it in the light,
it looks gold too.
I was gonna say bronze. It's like a bronze on black.
It is tricky. It does kind of look. I see what you're saying about looking purple though too.
Do you want me to read it for you, Tori?
If you wish.
It says mindfully made, culinary grade, all natural, plant-based, proud product of Belize.
Ooh. Yeah, it's good. I think you definitely nailed it with the movie ticket thing. It looks exactly. I never would have made that connection, but it does look exactly like a movie ticket on the front there. I do like the little curly Q script thing. I really find that kind of charming. I don't know that it looks Mayan so much, but it is kind of a cool aesthetic.
Yeah.
It does say on the side here, gluten-free, vegan, and non-GMO.
Boy, gluten-free. Can you believe it?
And it does appear to be actually imported from Belize. So they're being legit, I guess.
Maybe another foreign flair winner, considering we just wrapped up the saucies.
Yeah, we're on season 2 now, which is something I meant to mention earlier. I think we're going to retire those first season sauces as far as... I haven't quite figured out how we're going to do season 2 yet, I guess. We're going to retire them definitely from next year's Saucy Awards. We don't want to have a redo.
Oh, no question. Yeah, they're out.
But I was trying to decide, should we restart over with the rankings again? Or should we should we do like 2 spreadsheets, like one with all the sauces and one with just season 2 sauces? I don't know.
Yeah, I would probably start 2, I think. I think one overall and then one
That's what I was thinking.
Season 2.
I was considering that.
Anything that creates more work for you, Adam.
I mean... either way we do it, we can still go back and
we'll figure it out.
Maybe
put the dates on them or something.
Well, I was gonna like color code them or something, or make a season 1, season 2 sauce, something like that.
I think the most Mayan of artwork here is the little logo right between Maya Mike there.
Right.
Yeah.
We got ourselves a little...
I'm expecting like an eagle warrior.
It looks like one of those little Easter Island dudes.
Yep, that's a good way of putting it.
Toa? Is that what those are?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. It does say on the side here, Belizean Barbacoa is a remarkably versatile, all-natural, plant-based condiment with complex aromatics and rich umami depth. There's some more shit on there, too, but I'm not going to read that whole thing.
Well, it's funny because that's the exact same starting paragraph on mine, too, so it must be the same across all the bottles. I think it is, yeah. It does say it's truly all-purpose as it complements chips, dips, vegetables, dairy, and meat dishes equally. So that's cool. As far as the sauces themselves go, Eric, to start us off with the original, and you can kind of give us a little visual description on the sauce itself. Unless there's more in the bottle you're still going off about. I just thought it was interesting. It was made in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Who says that? Made exclusively for Mindfully Made Incorporated. Well, hold on. Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Does yours say imported from Belize? Yes, it does. Well, then which is it? I don't know. It's a mystery. It is a mystery. It's kind of weird. It's an international sauce of mystery. All right. Maybe like the ingredients are coming from Belize or something. Or one of the ingredients is coming from... One of the ingredients, yeah. Just enough to make it imported. Yeah. So the original Belizean Barbacoa here, the original all-purpose sauce, is a very dark, almost looks like a steak sauce, very deep umber color. Dark umber.
Deep.
I like the word deep, though. It just sounds better. I don't
You
know.
like saying
Anyways.
umber, too. The only person who's ever said umber on this podcast. Because it's real close to cum.
Go to an art store once in a while, Adam. Anyways, yeah, it's
Yeah, Adam,
Get
who worked in
cultured.
the paint department for 5 years at Home Depot. Get a little bit of color knowledge, Adam. People used to come from counties away to get paint color matched by you.
it sticks to the sides of the glass bottle.
Like,
really
cum!
Here comes this color. You got some serious problems. You got some serious internal bleeding.
See a doctor.
Yeah.
Didn't work so hot for me.
Kind of has like a lot of like speckles of seasoning, flakes of, something in there. And then the sauce itself has an interesting kind of clumpiness to it that it clings in patches to the side and then it slowly runs back down the bottle. So it has an interesting fluidity to it.
If I may jump in.
Yeah.
Please.
I think we called that, what you're seeing there on the neck of that bottle. I think, well, at least I termed that shingling or shingles. Do you guys recall that?
No. I believe
don't,
you.
But I believe you.
Yeah.
Was that on the... That wasn't on the...
That was an oldie episode, but I
Okay.
remember, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think we called that shingles. Huh?
Sure. Sounds good.
Yeah,
I'll buy off on it.
I like it.
Yeah, to me it almost looks, the color is almost reminiscent of the Daddy's Brown sauce.
Yes.
Yeah.
The texture is not exactly the same, and this has more flake in it, but
A lot more flavor.
color I would definitely say.
Do you want me to give a shake for the listeners?
All right, please don't.
Um,
Tori, do you want to give a little visual description of the sauce for the middle one there? I forget what the name of that one is.
Sure.
Read the name again for us.
Yeah. This is the
Story of a girl.
wild habanero, all-purpose sauce. And this, of course, Belizean Barbacoa. This is the medium, and the movie ticket is yellow as opposed to its red and sort of peachy counterparts. The sauce inside. You want me to do the sauce inside or no?
No, I think you're right, though. Let's refer to them by the ticket colors on the front, so that way we can keep them a little more straight. But yeah, the sauce inside.
Peachy?
Yeah, tan, whatever.
Get some color knowledge, TG. Go to like an art store. once in a
TG,
while.
go to a fucking art store once in a while, you piece of
God.
shit.
Fascinating how we can see such different colors. It's
umber.
Go to Michael's.
wonderful crappy lighting in this.
Well, no, I do think if you held it certain ways, it does kind of. I could see where he's coming from. These
I don't
ones,
know, Manila folder E.
it's like the weird
The hell
gloss,
do you want?
like the satiny finish they have on these does make the colors kind of like iridescent almost. Give us a visual description of the yellow sauce, Tor.
Yeah, this the label's yellow. The sauce inside is like a sort of a ketchup-y red, maybe like a thinner tomato sauce red. It has some seeds intermixed and looks like pepper flakes intermixed and in betwixt. There's some shingles. We've got some shingles cracking here on the neck of that bottle. It's sort of runny. The comparison here is tough. I would say maybe it's a skosh thicker than an A1.
It looks like picante sauce to me.
Unfamiliar.
It's like salsa, but pureed almost.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to
I can
me.
dig that. Yeah. I'm not certain here, but I think that clinging on the side, maybe that shingling that we see is a tomato, is a function of the tomato being present.
So the shingling
Or
is
a lot of it.
You're referring to the shingling is when the sauce clings to the side.
Yeah, what you're seeing
okay.
here and there.
when it clings in like the clumpiness, that kind of like
Yeah,
like
right.
uneven cling. It's not like an
Shingling.
even coating. It's shingling and clumps.
I just made that up.
Not
Made
to be confused with the adult version of chicken pox.
and hopefully these are all expired, but
No, they're not. The sauces?
Yeah.
Are they?
March of 2021. But that's fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, that will explain the origin. That will make more sense. Are they actually?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was just
All right.
checking. I was just like, oh wow, these are
I don't
good.
think this
So-
is something that would be hurt by being
No,
expired.
I'm sure it's not.
The red sauce,
Extra shingling.
and which
Yeah.
is the hot one, which says fruit wood smoked and wild habanero on it. This one almost looks like a cross between the lower two sauces. You know, it actually has some of the pepper flakes in it, but it's darker brown than the middle one, but more reddish than the original one, I would say. And other than that, it honestly looks like if you just mix the first two together.
I wonder if that's what they actually did. Probably.
No, I definitely don't think so, based on what we were tasting. You guys had asked me before the show started where I got this, which is another little bit of an interesting story, and this is not going to surprise you at all, since they're expired, to learn that I got them from my dad. Famously a man who's Well, we've discussed him before in reference to expired sauces, but also he's kind of like E in that regards. Like, if it's still in its original like state of matter, he's still going to consume it. So, but no, he actually, I'm starting to. As far as I know, my dad is not aware that I do a podcast, but I'm starting to think he's maybe getting a little wise to this, because this is the second time he has given me sauce or sauces and just said that this seemed like something you should have. He gave us the Wishbone.
Oh, yeah.
The Wishbone habanero or jalapeno sauce.
The lime, yeah.
And he also gave me these, and he was also in part of the story about the questionable ketchup that I bought that we couldn't open. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Shut.
Does your mom know you do a podcast?
Yes, my mom has heard at least the Christmas special, because that was a cleaner episode, one that I was willing to let her listen to. I don't think she's tech savvy enough to find us without someone showing her, so...
Link in the bio, Ma. Check us out on Insta.
She definitely doesn't have an Instagram.
Don't you think maybe she talked to your dad?
No.
Okay.
I sincerely doubt it. They live fair ways away, so... But all that being said, let's go ahead and I would say let's get onto our tasting notes, but Eric and I discovered something that made tasting a little bit difficult. And it relates to kind of like what you're saying earlier, Tori, with that there's no volcano tip or anything like that on these bottles. It's just a pour bottle, but these sauces are so thick that they're almost self-restricting. Like, they don't pour out readily. They actually kind of clump up at the nozzle, and you only get a little bit out at a time, even though there's nothing restricting it there. The opening is the size of a dime, I would say.
Yeah, the neck of the bottle's about, maybe 2.5 inches, and I'd say it starts off about maybe the diameter of a quarter or slightly bigger and narrows down to a dime.
Right.
And I don't know what's going on there, or just the thickness of the sauce or what, but you try and pour it out, and it just all goes right to that
like wedges.
Funnel, and wedges. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because you do still get some out, but you kind of have to shake it vigorously. But no matter how we did it, I didn't get anything to like pour out.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they are very powerfully tasting sauces. So I don't think that was intentional, but it worked out pretty well. That's all I wanted to say about that. But without further ado, Eric, do you want to go ahead and lead us off with your tasting notes? And let's work our way up.
Okay.
So we'll start with the original, which is the mildest. And they were actually, interestingly, they actually provided both flavor ratings and heat ratings for themselves from the website, which I thought was an interesting move.
They're doing our job for us.
Yeah, we'll see if we agree with them or not. I'm not going to blast them on their website if we don't, but start us off with the original, the mildest of the three, Eric, with your thoughts on the tasting notes for that.
Sure, we'll go with our vanilla folder label here.
Vanilla.
Peach flavored. Peach colored.
Let's go with vanilla peach. There we go. Now I'm on ice cream. Anyways.
Listeners will be just as confused as we are now. Not more so. It's white. It's fucking white. It's off-white.
It's off-white, yeah. It's eggshell. Anyways.
Oh my god.
Let's get
it's
another
not umber?
color.
As a paint person, Eric, I'm going to tell you that eggshell is not a fucking color. It's a sheen. Piece of dog shit. Go to an art store once in a while.
Go to an art store.
Go to a Home Depot once in a while, Eric.
You got a lot of culture.
Go there once a week for the past 14 years.
Go out there and piss
More
on
than
the walls.
Yeah.
15 years.
You're crazy, huh? So it's my tasting notes are pretty simple on this. I'd say it was sweet, it was fruity, it had like really good barbecue notes. It's a barbacoa. Barbacoa.
Barbacoa.
By the moon and the shenanigans we go.
Barbacoa.
No, it was really tasty. I liked it. Definitely had I didn't really have any smoky hints from it. Let me see here. Find the right cup here.
I didn't get any.
No, it actually smells, I don't know, kind of like sweet raisins. But
yeah, you might be onto something there.
Yeah, I saw on the website earlier, you are straight up correct about that. I don't know if you saw it too, and that's where you're pulling it from, but there are raisins in the first
There's
one.
raisins on it?
Yeah.
In it. And I was going to say it had, and I think, reading off the bottle when you said it had that umami, like, yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Like, it's really flavorful.
That was the first thing I noticed about all three of them, actually, was the umami.
Umami. So, all right, Tori, sniffing away.
Umami. Man, yeah, I think you nailed it. Yeah, raisins. I mean, yeah, it smells like you open a box of Sun-Made raisins.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the second you said that, maybe with a dash of vinegar in there. But number 3, I like, man, this really smells like something. like a baked good. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe like a bear claw.
Probably raisin
Well, do
bread.
you remember when I
Raisin
made
bread? Damn it! Yeah.
That is what it smells like to me.
Or a
too.
raisin bagel.
Yeah.
Remember when I made that apple chutney and I had all those raisins in there?
Yeah.
And the cinnamon and everything? It smelled a lot. Reminds me of that.
I don't get as much the cinnamon, but yeah, I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, there's some spice in there.
There's
And not like hot spice, but
No.
savory spice.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I thought it was excellent. I thought it tasted a little boozy.
Yeah.
I could
Like
see
a rum
that.
raisin almost.
Yeah, right. I thought it had a little bit of booze or a little bit of liquor to it. Certainly the sweetness was there. That may be a function of the raisins. Man.
Remember that chocolate that Allie gave us, that rum raisin?
Yeah.
Oh,
Cadbury?
God, that was so good.
That was good. You should send us some more of that.
Yeah.
Allie, if you're listening.
And maybe that's what's firing the neurons in here.
Could be.
Did either of your guys separate?
No.
Negative.
I
Not
got
really.
clumps, and then I got a real runny
Yeah, I
dollop.
do kind of see what you're saying about it. It did separate a little bit.
Yeah,
Like the vinegars kind of come loose of the rest of the concoction.
thought that was interesting.
Yeah, for me personally, I think that this one of the three was the most well balanced. I definitely got, a pleasant amount of sweetness, still a good amount of sting to it. Definitely chock full of that umami. A lot of other like seasonings and flavors. The spice there. I got both like a heat and also like a pepperiness. I really liked it. I thought it was really good. Yeah, I thought the most well balanced though. Yeah, all very good flavors. Definitely some vinegar in there too, and I think you nailed it with the raisin. Obviously, that's a no-brainer.
It's so fruity. I even think there's got to be something else that's in there. Like I said, like my apple chutney, like maybe apples or some other kind of fleshy fruit in there. That's just
You gonna take a hard stance on that?
adding up to the sweetness. I will take a hard stance on it. Sure.
There's apple in it.
Sure. Apple.
You can't take a hard stance and then
Pear.
be big. Like there's other fruity things in
I think
it.
there's
Yeah.
pear. I'm gonna take a hard stance as pear.
All right.
Pears?
Okay.
Cool.
Let's move on to the second one there, the more bright red sauce, but with the yellow label.
This one smells the least interesting to me, and it has a scent, but it's not like the last one we're yet to do, and it's not as fruity and inviting as the first one. It has I don't know, I almost want to say chemically. There's a slight smoke to it. It's very slight. Maybe like I don't know. And I wrote this down in my tasting notes. It reminds me of the Nando's peri peri sauce. Even to the smell of it, slightly reminds me of Nando's peri peri, if I'm remembering it correctly.
Well, do you think there's a comparison to be drawn there? But I do not think this reminds me of Nando's. I see where you're coming from, but I don't think there's even remotely close to the same.
So I say it's slightly smoky, and it packs a heat smack, like right up the side of your face.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And it is flavorful, but it was damn hot. I was, from one little tasting, was pretty regretting it in a way. I was trying to catch my breath a little bit. It caused me to take pause.
Yeah, you guys both took a heavy breather after tasting this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Tori?
Yeah. I think it looks, I mentioned it looks a great deal like a tomato sauce, and I almost think it definitely has an acidic smell to it. The smell grabs you. It gets a hold of your sinuses pretty good. It also gives you that pause, as you mentioned. Yeah, but at first sniff, I almost thought it smelled like sweat sauce.
Wow.
Yeah. But as far as the taste is concerned, ease with the heat smack, man. You smack that right on the nose. The heat smack is real.
Smack that?
Yeah. That is very serious, and it caused me to recoil because of it. No, let's put just heat. I had a little bit of vinegar in there too. I got heat and vinegar coming out of what looks like a thin tomato sauce.
Did you recognize? You didn't get any slight smoke out of it, like I was getting?
I did.
Yeah, the smoke is tough for me.
Okay.
But no,
Right.
I didn't get the smoke there.
I think you guys pretty much captured all my notes there. I think this was the least interesting of the sauces. I definitely got a little bit of the slight smoke, which I liked. Other than that, I kind of almost felt like it was a spicier, less smoky, almost like the Tabasco Chipotle that we had tried, kind of like they went more on the heat. And it's chunkier than that too. I do like it. I think it's good. I don't really think it fits. I think it's the red-headed stepchild if you would, of these sauces, because I don't really think it fits with the other two. Yeah, like I said, the balance to me just wasn't quite there. I didn't really get any sweetness. Definitely more. This was more like a traditional hot sauce, I think you would say.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. When you mentioned, comparing it to hot sauces, I was thinking, maybe this would be good on eggs or on potato, maybe with French fries. You could dip a French fry in something that's really starchy or something that's really can really help to cool that intense burn. but you want to like spice it up, you know, if,
Right.
if you're in the mood for spice, because that brings it.
If you want to talk like theory, I think, you know, for me, the first time I ever had barbacoa was from Chipotle, which I'm sure is a far cry from authenticity. You know, say what you will. But I almost always get barbacoa when I do go there, and I do like that flavor it has. To me, like I said, from the limited, very little I know about barbacoa, I don't feel like this sauce fits in that lineup. I feel like the other two, you know, are much more in that wheelhouse, and I almost feel like this one isn't necessary at all.
Yeah, when I think of barbacoa, I always think of exactly like you said, like a Chipotle, like a meat dish, and I think the first one would be much more applicable to that kind of genre of foods. Where
Right.
this hot sauce is kind of like, well, yeah, you could put it on meat,
Right.
but like you said, kind of like the redheaded step-sister or step-brother of these
Right.
sauces.
I think like barbacoa, I don't know if there's an official meat you're supposed to use, but I would think more like a pulled pork or like a pulled beef or something like that.
I would think pork would probably be.
I think it's beef at Chipotle. I mean, like I said, I'm not saying that they're the most authentic, but I do think that either one is acceptable. Whereas this one, I think, would be better on like a chicken or something, maybe. You know, it seems more like a wing sauce.
Yeah, but that would be pretty good on wings,
It is a
actually.
competent hot sauce to me. It's just not barbacoa, I guess, is what I would think. But I mean, what do I know? You know, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not taking a hard stance because I am certain that I'm wrong. There's someone from Belize will correct me in a minute.
Let's hope so.
And they call this wild habanero, which I think is interesting. What's the last one?
Domestic habanero. Domestic. It says wild habanero too.
Oh, it says wild. Okay, that's interesting.
Which, with that being said, let's lead us right into the third one here. And for me, this was the one I was most looking forward to because I cracked it open and I smelled a hearty amount of smoke, which I love smoke flavor. And it does say fruitwood smoked on it. And this one was packing smoke in spades, which I really liked. They were saying that this one had the most heat, and I think it was definitely. I think it did. I think it was a step up from the middle one there, but not like worlds apart either. But I definitely I thought this one came back to that balance and more what I was expecting from the barbacoa flavors, only much hotter and much more of that smokiness. I didn't get quite as much of the sweetness as I did from the first one, but I really, really like this. Smell-wise, the thing that I was primarily getting is that fruitwood smoke, which I'm a big fan of smoking meats, as you guys both know. My wood of choice is generally hickory. I think it provides a milder smoke, more kind of like that savory. And these things were all three umami bombs through and through, I think. But this fruitwood has a little bit sharper on the nose of a smoke flavor, which I think worked well for this sauce. Like I said, not normally my first choice, but I think it was really competent with the heat and the other, intense flavors this had to give a little bit more of that bite. And that might be something that's more authentic to Belize. I couldn't speak to that. But what about you, Eric?
Well, where were you going with this hickory? Are you saying it seemed hickory, or did it seem more like fruitwood?
No, they used the fruitwood, which I was saying is a much like sharper smoke flavor than has more of an edge to it than the hickory. The hickory is much more of like goes with like that brown sugar and molasses, very like smooth and sweet. It makes that nice thick barbecue sauce, whereas this fruitwood is a much more like pungent, like pokey smoke, I guess, if you want to look at it that way.
Okay. No, that does make sense. That's true.
That's what I think.
No, yeah, you're really nailing it. I mean, it's almost smoky to the point where I wondered if they put liquid smoke in it, which I don't care for because it's just so over the top smoky. But I liked it a lot. I did like the smell. Putting your whole nose in it is maybe just a bit intense, but I think you put this on some meat and you actually heat it up on like a grill. Holy crap. You're going to have all your neighbors coming over wondering what the heck you're making.
I think this will be phenomenal on beef jerky, too. I want to say, if you want to use this as a beef jerky rub. Oh, yeah, I can see that being real good.
Damn. Yeah.
And you're right about the heat. When I first tried it on the chicken nugget, I had a nice long break between the medium and then it went up to this next level. And I actually was initially going to say that, hey, this is actually for me a step down, but I just tried again, just dipped the very tip of a toothpick into it and just let it rest on my tongue a little bit, get the flavors in my mouth. I had just on that little tip of the toothpick, I managed to pick up 2 hunks of pepper, habanero, whatnot. So it's very packed full of spices, pepper.
The pepper is very prominent. Yeah,
very prominent. So it was hot. It was hot on my tongue. It wasn't unbearable. And I don't think, I don't want to make the medium sound like it was unbearable either. I mean, it hit you. And this one, I think, equally hits you, but it has so much other flavors going on that it helps to maybe mellow it out. Like I said, balance it out. So I said here it was very smoky, very fruitful, the fruity smell, and you even do have like a fruity taste in it. And oh yeah, I said it's just like it's so smoky it's like a campfire.
Damn, that's what I had written down.
Yep, spot on. I didn't write it down.
And then I wrote not as hot, but actually I think it is right in line with the heat level of the medium yellow label sauce. So sorry, Tori, stealing all your good stuff here.
Did you look at my notes?
I did not look at your notes.
Sorry,
I have it written right here if you want to see campfire on my notes.
Dumbass.
Okay. Yeah, I mean you stole my thunder there, man. It was I definitely thought it was a campfire in a bottle. A campfire that went out late last night, and you're just rolling out of your tent, and there's still some smoldering going on there. That's exactly what I'm getting. I'm not getting any of that vinegar. I'm not getting any of that. That's just getting just straight up smoldering wood.
From the smell or from the taste?
The smell.
Okay.
Yeah, the taste I got was right in line with the number 6. Which label is that? I believe the yellow one.
The yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought it was right in line. I think the differentiator there, what maybe made it a 7 in heat in terms of these people, the manufacturing, was its longevity. That heat hung around for much longer than the 6. Yeah, it's still hanging around. And I took 2 eensy-weensy tiny little Schlecks. The eye of a pin, the pin that went at your foot size Schlecks. I mean, we're talking tiny.
Pretty big then?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Enormous. I needed a crane. So the heat's still lingering. It's still very much there for me. I'm certainly inclined to agree with you boys. I think that on jerky or on a grill, in some heated application or dehydrating in that case, I think would be excellent. Maybe for chicken nuggets, it's not. It may be a little bit too much for me, and I understand that. That's certainly not the sauce's fault, but I think it's a little too much.
I may straight up try to make some beef jerky with the hotter one, and then maybe save the milder one for like a pulled pork or a pulled beef or something like that. Make some tacos or something like that. That could be pretty fun.
Now, I know we said we weren't going to do this every episode, but I am curious about the honey ratio on these because these taste
no idea.
Freebies.
No idea. Yep, came from Daddy-O. I can't even do it. He
tried
got
researching online to see if there's any price on Amazon or something. I mean,
no, because I usually try to go based on the price I actually paid for them because sometimes Amazon's a little bit more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see if I can find a price here just to make you. Uh-oh.
Nope. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe these are expired and they don't make them anymore. No. I hope not. You can donate to them.
I can't easily find it, so we're going to skip
on Instagram?
Oh my god.
No, you don't have to do it.
We'll do research on. So I looked online here, and the closest thing I could find was Walmart, where they're showing $12.55. I know for a fact my dad did not pay, the better part of $40 for these 3 sauces. I know for a fact that didn't happen.
No way.
And on Amazon, they only had like a 12-pack, and it was out of stock. I'm pretty sure he said he found these at like a fair or a farmer's market or something like that. It wasn't like your standard store, so that's what I'm saying.
It's an Ollie's.
It could be. My dad would like a place like Ollie's, I'm sure.
That'd almost be like a shame, though, because their sauces are amazing. They really are like...
They might be sold out. There might be a difference between them being... Because I think this is probably a small batch type thing. But anyway, so yeah, no honey ratio for these. I can't even warrant a guess, No,
that's fair. At least we... At
least we spent 10 minutes trying to find it.
Spent 10 minutes trying to find it. Our listeners can have to hunt this down themselves if they want to try it, apparently. And it's going to be as elusive as the unbranded sauces from last season.
But these are branded. I do hope that they're not like going out of business or something like that because they're pretty damn good.
Yeah, I think so too.
I would, hey, if you guys, I mean... What I would say is if you find a way to try these, I can't point you to anything, but I would go out of your way to pick up, either the milder one or the hotter one. I would maybe skip that middle one, but yeah, go for one of those. If you like hotter, go for the hotter, smokier one. If you like more of a mild, sweeter one, go for the milder one. But I would say definitely go out of your way to try one of these. Without further ado, though, Eric, would you like to go ahead and give us the ingredients? Start us with the original.
We'll start with the original. Exactly.
The white.
Our white.
The peach ticket.
Vanilla peach. All right. The ingredients are fresh, green.
Oh, God. We didn't make it one ingredient.
Hayden mangoes. Hayden. Haden. Hayden, I guess.
Must be.
You got me.
Mangoes.
Fresh.
You're right on the fruit.
I was right on fruit, but not the right type of fruit. I said pears.
Not so far.
Fresh, was that tamarind?
Okay.
Raisins, which we all smelled.
Makes sense.
fresh wild ginger,
Huh.
raw sugar, natural vinegar. Not sure what, I guess white, I imagine. That's what we determined before. Like spirit vinegar, natural vinegar, and
I
white
would think
vinegar.
natural vinegar would actually not be white, because white is like distilled, you know?
True. Good point.
I don't know what white would be or what natural would be. Maybe I'm envisioning something more like raw sugar where it's kind of got that light brown look to it.
Right.
But I don't know what that would be.
We have hand-chopped white onion. I like the way they purposely call that out.
Right.
Fresh roasted garlic, fresh wild red habanero peppers, and spices.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, so, yeah, that tracks in. That makes sense. Go ahead and hit us with the ingredients for the medium saucer, Eric, the one with the yellow label on front.
All right. We have fresh green Hayden mangoes again.
Okay.
Fresh tamarind.
Okay.
Raisins, fresh wild ginger, raw sugar, natural vinegar, red habanero peppers, hand-chopped white onion,
Okay.
fresh roasted garlic, and spices.
So they did move the habanero up a few spaces, so it's not the exact same label. It's not like your buddy who was just listing the same exact ingredients. So that's interesting. I didn't get any of the fruitiness or anything like that. Those two, to imagine those having almost identical ingredients is totally beyond me.
Almost identical. This one says roasted garlic instead, which I don't think this one had roasted, right? This one said fresh garlic. Right?
Even in the color, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
No, this one had fresh roasted garlic too.
So the only thing was that they moved
crazy.
the habanero up a couple spaces. That's weird too,
Yeah,
because they
I don't
don't
know about
taste
that.
or look similar. Like I would believe you if you said that about the hotter one, the one you have in your hand there, the one with the red label on the front. But
So for the red label, we have fruitwood smoked red habanero peppers,
makes sense.
fresh green Hayden mangoes, fresh tamarind, raisins, fresh wild ginger, raw sugar, natural vinegar,
Why do you
and
always
chopped
say-
white onions.
Why do you always say tamarind? There's no R there. It's just a TAM, right? Tamarind.
Yeah, you're right.
You always say tamarind.
Because I hate that word.
Why? It's
I
not
don't
even
know.
hard.
I don't
Tamarind.
like it.
What in tarnation?
Yep. Fresh roasted garlic, spices. Yeah, it's kind of odd.
That is kind of odd. I would actually, those are much more similar than I expected them to be for having very distinct
I'm
sauces.
going to challenge that.
Yeah.
I would challenge it on the middle one. I buy it for the other two. That middle one, though, yeah, I'm not buying that. It almost makes me wonder if that's like a defect one. Like it's not supposed to be red and, you know, that hot. It's supposed to have some other flavors in it that would make it more in line with the barbacoa lineup.
That's interesting. They're actually, I was reading the yellow label there, and it says, pour the sauce on any food from meat to vegetables. I love the sauce on steak and baked potatoes. Interesting.
Huh.
Which I did say, like a baked potato or french fry.
I could see it on a baked potato or a fry. I'd see all these on a fry, to be honest with you. Especially if you got like a pulled pork fry, you know, maybe with like a drizzle of some cheese, and then you put some green onions and a little drizzle of this shit on there. I could see that being real good. Loaded fries.
Yeah. I'd even, a drizzle of Ricos and a drizzle of barbacoa here.
That sounds real
like
good. Actually, I'm thinking like either tots or fries.
Yeah.
Get yourself some nacho cheese, layer that on, some green onion, like I said.
Ooh.
Maybe, I don't know, something else on there.
Bacon.
Well, I was thinking like pulled pork.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like pulled pork or something
pulled
on
pork,
there.
green onion, maybe some.
I was on that tater tot
grilled-
tip with E.
Some lightly sautéed mushrooms in there. That'd be good.
Nah,
Pretty
you
good,
lost
too.
me with the mushrooms. That sounds whack. Not for, like-
I'm with you on the shrooms, bro.
Thanks, man.
Okay, that seems weird to me, but that's
I
fine.
just like mushrooms.
I like mushrooms too, but not with barbacoa.
On tots with barbacoa sauce and cheese.
But I could definitely see the rest of that shit going together. Cool. Well, let's go ahead and get around to our ratings portion of the show. And let's start off with the milder one there. And let's go ahead. You can give us your flavor and then your heat.
Tori, start us off.
Okay. I will. And we said we're working our way up from the bottom.
Yes, from the bottom up.
Okay.
Started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Now we're here, and we're going to keep on going up.
Right.
Fingers crossed. So, yeah, so this is Belizean Barbacoa.
Butthole.
Yeah, having some issues with that. So this is the white bottle. I really liked the heck out of this. I really liked it. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 9, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
9 for flavor.
I liked it a whole hell of a lot. I liked everything about it. I like sweet stuff generally, so that's cool. I think bottle design with the self-limiting, the fluid dynamics and all that shit they got cracking. I think that's effing brilliant. So, yeah, all that mixed in, I'm going to give it a solid 9.5
Ooh,
Cranking it up. Yeah, I liked it a whole hell of a lot.
Nice.
I don't know. I thought they gave himself a little bit too much credit when it came to the Heat. I thought 3's even a little bit lofty. I mean, even for me. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to take him down a peg or two on the Heat and give him a 1.
Okay. Yeah, for me personally, I'm right up there with you. I thought this was great. I am going to give it an 8 out of 10 for flavor. I really liked it. I would be really excited to try this on some other meats.
Yes.
For Heat, I actually thought they were pretty much right on track with the Heat. I was thinking about a 3, to be honest with you. I got a little bit of heat out of the first one, and I think that's about in line with where I'd like to be.
I think we're kind of starting off season 2 here with a real strong sauce. I'm gonna give it a 10.
Yeah!
Wow!
Whoa, he went last and he gives it a 10.
That's why he went last, so we couldn't all give it a 10. He's obsessed with never having a perfect 10.
And I think coming right in between you two on the heat level, so I think 2 is appropriate.
All right, let's do Ghost Paul here and see what he thinks.
Paulie.
Ghost Paul is giving it a 2. He doesn't like the flavor at all.
His R&D department's working on something identical to this. He's going to blow its doors off.
He's giving it. He's giving it a hard 2. It's a 2 and a 1 for the modifier. And let's see what he thinks about the heat level. He gives it a 4.
Wow.
So he's actually thinking it's a shit sauce, but it's a little bit spicier than they were saying. And I also want to read for the website here. The website is saying 3 out of 10 for heat, and they're saying 9.5 out of 10 for taste.
Wow.
They are that confident about this. Just for record,
wow.
Which they're not too far off from about where we came in, to be honest. So
what did you end up giving it?
I gave it an 8.
Okay. Yeah.
So average-wise, they're, pretty close.
Yeah, I like the heck out of that sauce.
Me too.
Ah, man, let me try a little more.
I think it can only get better. Once you start grilling with it or putting it with pairing it with some more meats, I think.
Yeah, the pulled pork would just be.
It's going to be out of this world.
Lights out. Yeah. See ya.
Yeah, the only thing I don't quite like about it is I think that a little bit of the sweetness, I'm getting some of that like gingery sweetness, and it makes it taste a little bit like artificial sweetener. I don't think it is, but that's the only thing that's throwing it off a little bit for me. I'm gonna hold with my 8 on that though. Can't go any higher than that. Very good.
I got to test this hypothesis now.
I got a little bit of just the runnier part that kind of separated, like Eric was saying, and together with that ginger and the sweetness, it almost made it taste a little bit aspartame or something.
You know what it reminds me of?
What's that?
General Tso's.
Oh my god! Moving on quickly.
Abort mission.
No, I think it's
I was totally jagged.
Okay. It's in line there.
But General Tso's is so spicy, Tori. If you look at a Chinese restaurant, they put a little pepper next to it. It's so spicy. All right, let's move on. Before we get too deep into this, let's move on to the next one, the medium sauce there. You want to lead us off, Tor?
Sure. Yeah, the medium sauce. This is for the yellow label for those who are playing along at home. I don't know, man. I thought it was just heat. I thought it was heat for the sake of heat. That the heat slap just didn't do it for me. I got to give it like a 5, dude. I mean, maybe I even think that's even generous. I'm going to go with a 4.
We're going to stop writing so fast here. The recorder here someone keeps throwing out numbers left and right. No,
I'm going to change back to a fucking 5.
Well, no. It's a 4.
What do you think about for heat there, Tor?
The heat rating, that just blew. That's out of this world, man. Now that was a 9.
Wow.
That was crazy.
All right. I'm actually right in with you on your original rating. I'm thinking a 5. I think it's a very competent hot sauce. I don't quite think it fits in with this lineup here. I don't feel like I need it. I would like to try it on some other stuff. I'm not quite sure where it would fit in there, but I think a 5 for me in flavor is fair. For the heat, I think personally it was pretty hot. I'm going to go with a 7, I think.
Average it out. Beep, boop, beep, boop.
Yeah, I was thinking about that on the heat level, because I don't know where to put on the heat. I mean, I think it was damn hot, too. I did not enjoy it. But, yet I'm saying that, like, if you try it with, like, a potato chip or, or
I think a chicken wing, man.
A chicken wing, even. Yeah, I think it really would help it out a lot. I think it'd be really good. And I think the flavor, to me, I like this a lot. Like I said, I put this on par with, like, Nando's Peri Peri sauce.
Huh.
Pretty sure I gave them like a 7. I'd say this has to come around like a 6.5, almost 7, right up there.
For the flavor?
Yeah, for the flavor. So I'm going to give it a 6.5 for the flavor.
Okay.
And you know what? I'll just keep it consistent. I'll give it a 6.5 for the spice.
Okay.
Wow.
Actually, no. I got to go more than that. I'm going to go 7.5.
Okay.
Because it was hot. It was
hot. Yeah.
Let's see what Ghost Paul has to say about the flavor here. Ghost Paul thinks a 7 for flavor. He liked this. Actually, a 7.5 because he gave it a perfect 6. So modifier 6. So 7.5 for Ghost Paul. He liked it pretty good.
Liked it more than any of us.
Think about the flavor. The heat? What does he say? An 8. He gives it an 8 for heat. This is more his style.
Yeah.
And let's move on to the hottest one, the one with the red label there. Tori, you want to lead us off with that?
Yeah, sure thing. Oh, I didn't really care for this at all. I thought it sort of tasted like engine oil. If you could taste engine oil.
You seem to have, I've noticed you have a habit of comparing things to various industrial liquids, and I feel like you've... Did you have some weird punishments as a kid or something like that?
I wouldn't say it if I don't think it's 100% true, man. I think it's weird. I don't like habanero. Maybe it's habanero. Maybe, I don't know. We've had that once before. Maybe it's the habanero that is oily.
Could be.
That has some type of industrial place.
We've had habanero several times on this show.
In Ohio, like they would always say, like if your kid was bad, if he said a bad word or something like that, he'd wash your mouth out with soap. Is it like a Pittsburgh thing? They wash your mouth out with like motor oil or something? Is that where you're getting this from?
Of course not.
You had to pause first for the listeners.
No, yeah,
dramatic. A long pause. I'll make it longer in the editing.
There we go. But I didn't think it was any good. I mean, yeah, it smelled good and it was all campfirey and all that. And if you like that smoky thing, that's fine. But it wouldn't be my first choice. I mean, the heat level, again, it's not the sauce's fault, but it was just too much. 5.
Huh. And
I liked it a little bit better than that other one. This one I thought was a straight up offensive.
Huh, okay.
Fair.
Straight up offensive gets a 4. Still, miles better than the Lee Kum Kee and the Hooters.
In a tasteful way. I mean, you're offensive and I hang out with you.
That's very fair.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. What's your heat rating?
Oh, the heat rating. Oh, yeah.
Even more offensive, like hanging out with Eric.
After a big glass of milk.
Eric did just get done shitting his brains out. We had to cut while we were looking up the sauces. Eric was blasting his toilet wide open. He's got a second bathroom out of commission now.
Eric toots.
He's glowing bright red. No
you guys
comment.
are messed up.
Oh boy!
Cut that whole section out. Beep.
We'll leave it. It was funny.
It's hot. It's hot, bro. I'm gonna give it a 9.
It's hot.
All right. For me personally, I think I gave the first one an 8, and I like this one better than the first one. I think they're in the same ballpark. I'm going to say 8.5 for flavor. I liked it a lot. I'm excited to try this on. Like I said, maybe some beef jerky. For the heat, I think I'm going to come in for heat at an 8. Pretty damn hot, but I know like some of the Yellowbird stuff we had was, I believe, hotter. This, I think I could eat this in quantity. I would slow down, but I think I could eat this in quantity.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. My heat's going to be an 8. My flavor's going to be an 8.
Nice.
So
let's see what Ghost Paul's got to say about it. His flavor is going to be a 6.5.
Ooh.
He's right on the average. And his heat rating is going to be... I think Ghost Paul's off his rocker. He's only giving it a 4 for heat. I don't know. Ghost Paul might be losing it this episode. He's not feeling it or something. He's been pretty good, actually, up until this point. He's just, maybe this is not his style sauce. He's throwing it for a loop. All right, well, that's going to do it for Belizean Barbacoa. And I do want to read the other ratings here. They're saying on the website, their medium one, they're saying, taste on that one, a perfect 10 out of 10. But they're only coming heat-wise. They're only saying a 6 out of 10. I thought that was really interesting because for the next one, they're giving that one a 9 out of 10 for the taste, the hottest one, and a 7 out of 10 for heat. So they're saying the one I liked best is actually the one they personally rated lowest. And the one that I liked least is the one that they rated highest, which I thought was very strange.
Yeah, we all like that one the least.
I know. I think maybe we'll have to send them an email and be like, hey, if you want some professional adjudication on your sauces here, not only will you get 3 genius-level Epicurean experts, but you will also get the ghost of Paul Newman to chime in, or any other person by the name of Paul who may or may not be Paul Newman for licensing reasons.
Our Paul has a mohawk.
Right.
We're not getting sued here.
Right.
But in direct correlation to your logo.
Similar eyes.
So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, and then like I said, they seem like they have a whole other lineup of sauces which we didn't really talk about. Their flagships are the ones we tasted tonight, and I would read all the rest of these, but their labels are really hard to read online. I don't know if you guys can read those at all.
Oh, barely.
Yeah, I don't know. The one says Nope, not
I can't read any
Sweet
of them.
something sauce.
Yeah, they seem to have a number of other sauces here, which we're not going to go all the way through because, like I said, it's too hard to read the labels. But yeah, no, I think it seems like a pretty healthy lineup there. But yeah, definitely I would say check out Maya Mike, Michael Tubby. Tubby? How do you say Michael Tubby? Yeah, he's definitely onto something. It remains to be seen whether he's actually from Belize or not, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm curious what ingredients came from Belize to make these, imported.
Mangoes.
Or were they actually made in
the workers
Belize?
that made them, the illegal immigrants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, were imported themselves to make the
They're
sauce.
hanging out at Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Well, and as one little thing I wanted to wrap up, I want to do a brief little Sauce-Spoken rewind. Sauce-Spoken this rewind this week is going to be a follow-up from last week because we're going to talk a little bit about the concoction we made. For the listeners that may have missed it, first of all, go back and listen to last week's Saucy Awards. And I know that was an award show. We didn't try a sauce. It's still worth listening to, damn it. But we made a vinegar concoction using xanthan gum.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang, thank you.
Gotcha.
And we
Had to reload.
attempted to modify it into like a clear barbecue sauce by adding some salt and sugar and some ground back black pepper. And we blended it, which turned it into kind of a frothy white concoction because of all the air bubbles that got sucked into it. And I wanted to let it sit for a week to see if the air bubbles would kind of drift back out of it, which they kind of did. It actually
largely
seems,
so, I'd say.
It seems like it lost some of its thickness, too. Did you notice that?
I did not. You were the first person to open it since sealing it up last week.
Oh, okay.
I agree with you. I think it looked far more watery than what it did than compared to when you put it in there.
Right. So
maybe it needed to be refrigerated. I didn't.
Maybe.
What?
Oh, you didn't refrigerate it?
You didn't refrigerate
I did not.
Oh, you seriously didn't?
Was I supposed to?
I think
It's
so.
just vinegar.
I mean, I don't think it needs to be.
Right.
I guess.
Vinegar, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of spices.
Wasn't it cold when you handed it to us? Okay,
I
maybe.
keep my house at 72 degrees.
I don't think it fermented or anything. I think it's fine. Like you said, it's just all.
I mean,
vinegar.
nobody tried it, right?
We made it ourselves. No, we didn't try it.
Absolutely not.
After
going down the drain now.
After our experience last week, we weren't brave enough to try it. But I did just want to say that it does seem like that helped with its. I think if we pulled a vacuum on it, like if we canned it, I think it would be pretty much bubbleless, and it would be more or less what we were trying to achieve. So
more or less,
concept.
I think it still has a certain. I don't even know what color to call it.
Disgustingness?
It's clear-ish, but it's not truly clear.
Yeah, it's not crystal clear, which is what I was hoping for. I don't know if that is possible. I feel like you would have to have I feel like even gelatin really wouldn't, be able to get it crystal clear. Yeah, I just don't. I think as close as we got, that kind of like almost yellowish hue to it. I think is as close as we're gonna get.
Like antique water.
Yeah,
exactly. Antique water. So that's a little soft-spoken rewind for the listeners there. I would say.
Do you want to apologize for horchata comment too?
No, why would I apologize for that? I was right.
No, you were wrong. I corrected you in the show notes.
What are you talking about?
Horchata is not traditionally made with alcohol.
Oh, this again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you get horchata from
like a Mexican restaurant or something.
Yeah.
If you order it off of their, spirit drink, off of their, alcoholic drink menu, of course it's going to have alcohol in it, but
I don't quite remember the full conversation, but didn't she say rum chata? And I said rum chata is horchata with rum?
Yes. She said horchata, and you were saying...
Well, she was saying horchata was something totally different, though, and I'm saying no, it's like whatever. I remember exactly what I said, but I remember distinctly saying that it was... We looked this up on the air.
Yeah, you did look it up, but I thought it was interesting, so I did a little more research for you. But anyways,
I'll double check your research.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not the first time that you
fact checkers in
It's
here.
not the first time that you've called me out and been like, "Ha, you were wrong about something," and then I did more research on it, and then I was right, and you were trying to call me out on the shit. That's happened regularly. I'll double check your research.
2 websites you can double check it.
2 websites. I need my sources in MLA format.
Right.
Accordingly.
Anyways.
So
I just thought maybe that's where you're going with the first to the sauce rewind.
I'm not apologizing.
No way.
She was saying it was something totally different than that, and I'm just saying that rum chata is horchata with rum.
Oh, it's horchata with rum.
Yes, that was my original, I think, exact point. I mean, this is all recording, so the listeners can call me out if I'm wrong.
Yeah, you were saying that that horchata always had whiskey in it, and rum chata was.
I didn't say it always had whiskey in it. I said the rum was a replacement for the whiskey, which is exactly what it said online. Pretty sure. I could be wrong. I haven't listened to that episode in 2 weeks, so I could be wrong about that. But I'm not going to fucking apologize to your girlfriend either way. E.
She's not my girlfriend.
I know I'm saying that so she gets mad. She won't listen to this episode anyways, but I'm sure she will. I'll redirect her anger from me to you by saying that you said that. So you are going out on a boat cruise with her tomorrow, though. Yeah, supposed to be. We'll see. There's going to be a lot of other coworkers there as well. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be up for it. I don't know. She'll be up for it. She actually left work sick today, so we'll see. Sick to you? Yeah, that's my first thought. Wow. Figured. All right. I'll be there. I'll be there on the boat. You'll be there. Tori will be there. I won't be. I didn't get my invitation from Eric. Yeah. Shit. Could have been your +1, man. Oh, man, I've got a +1. What should I do with this? Oh, man, if only I had friends I could bring. Oh, fuck it. I'll go by myself. Oh, I'll just piss it away like that bookcase. Desk. Desk. My bad. Oh, boy. Well, I think that's going to do it for us this week for the Belizean Barbacoa. Thanks, Dad, for providing us with that sauce. Yeah. Excellent. You'll have to let me know. Really enjoyed it. Hip to the groove, even though it is expired. And that's the other thing I want to mention is that I definitely received this after it had already expired, which would explain how he had gotten it for whatever budget price he got it for. Sure. That would make sense. Probably got it in Big Lots. Nice. Nice. With that being said, Eric, do you have any closing thoughts you'd like to share with us? But we talked about a lot of, new sauces, a new season. We talked about don't you do it. Break out of the comfort box. No, about this is sauces from, abroad. And I was just like, I'm just really excited for what the new season can bring as we keep exploring all these international sauces. Okay, this isn't going to necessarily be a trend. I hope it is. All right. I can tell you what the sauce for next week is going to be, and it's a domestic sauce. Courtesy of Tori. So. Yay. Courtesy of Tori. Hey, that's cool. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Vacation sauce. It's at your house, piece of shit. It's been there for like a couple weeks now. You know what it is. You say now. It's vacation sauce? Yeah, I got it when I was in Virginia. Oh, that's right. We'll have to bleep that. Oh, no. Secret sauce. Oh, the entire state must not know. Secret sauce. Yeah, they'll figure it out. The listeners are a savvy bunch. Keeping it under wraps. All right, Tori. Sure. Unwrap it now for us. Oh, very well done. Yeah, I will. So, in my opinion, I thought that I'm going to call this the original. Belizean Barbacoa, the original, the white label that we say here, or Barbacoa if you're Eric. Barbacoa, or I don't know. I'm sure I'm goofing it up. But hey, I personally think the original was the best. What I'm referring to is the original. I thought it was the absolute best. So maybe take a step back from that. Be original. Be out there. I don't want to recycle a lot of final thoughts here, but hey, I mean the original's good. Originality is important. Don't clone yourself. So go out and smash it, and we love you. Of course, we love you, and we're so proud of you, and we're glad you're here, and good night. And that'll do it for me. I'm going to go on to Tori's. I'm going to say, don't be like the original. Go out and have a smoke and spice yourself up a little bit. You'll be even better than you were before. You'll be like James Dean. You'll be so cool. Yeah. You have a smoky death in a car accident. Yeah, it was a car accident. In a Porsche 518, I think. Is that right? Spider? 550? I don't remember. Fuck if I know. One of those. It's a Porsche. It's fast, yeah. Yeah. Actually, it was only... The sad thing is, that's the funny thing, we've talked about this before about the old cars, is that, a hot rod back in the day made 130 horsepower or something like that. Crazy! No one needs that much power, Whereas I think Eric's, Versa or Nissan Note Max or whatever it is makes more than that Versa now. Note. Yeah, Versa Note makes more than that now. I don't know. My drive to the reunion was a struggle. We kept hitting these wonderful Pennsylvania hills, and I just make sure to get over it slowly because I just can't get up those hills. Spun up like crazy, huh? Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing. Time to throw a turbo in that bitch. Yeah, that'd make it more fun. That's the last thing you need. I'll be the one dying. Yeah. Seeing how you drive, that's the last thing you need. I used to encourage you to get a fun, fast car, and now I'm like, thank God. Or a motorcycle, yeah. Yeah, well, you can get a motorcycle as long as you got something more like a cruiser-oriented type thing, which is what you're more interested in. I think you'd be a little safer on that. Why do you think of that? I think a crotch rocket. I think it just blast me off to the moon. Yeah, I think you'd be like a bug on a window. You just splat. Yep. Yeah, dude. Oh, boy. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. As always, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
Oh, bad news is we're at the end of the show here, but hey, the good news is that we have several other episodes that keep you entertained. And while you're at it, send us an email, saucespoken@gmail.com. If you've had enough of listening to us and like to see us, you can do that too. You can stop over on our Instagram page. It's Sauce Spoken Official. If you wish to get down into the nitty-gritty, we welcome you to do so, and you could probably do that on the website. That's going to be saucespoken.wordpress.com. We have some show notes there. We keep track of the various ratings we give them over the episodes there, so if you wish to dig into the details, that's a great place to do it. In the event some unthinkable calamity, your favorite listening provider is not available, you can fire us up on YouTube. And of course, we'll be out here rattling our empty mayonnaise and mustard jars. If you'd like to donate to us, you certainly can. We are at PayPal, at Sauce Spoken. We'll give you a little jingle jangle, maybe a wink and a smile on your way out. Keep in mind, we have stickers available for you. Slap them any which where you like, but they're available to you. If you'd like one, let us know. We'd be happy to send you one. And finally, we have a proprietary cryptocurrency out here. It's what's called Sauce Stoken. We have some details on it on the website. As we close here today, of course, we're going to ask you, please share us with a family member, share us with a friend. Hey, if you're enjoying it, I'm certain they would too. If you could, follow us, give us a rating or a review on that listening platform of your choice. Thank you for listening, and this is Sauce Spoken.
I wasn't sure if I was shitting or was this going to be gas. I don't know what was going to happen.
You never know. It's going to come out of you.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.